cup runneth over. Well, let's hope I don't turn into Ghost Rider going down the road. Welcome, folks, on another episode of the Kenny Quest Show. And there she is, the 1996 Softail Heritage Special with the Evolution engine. The engine that saved Harley Davidson right there. If it wasn't for that engine, there'd be no more Harley Davidson. Well, that's what they say anyways. We're about, an hour south of Orlando today, and we're going to be talking about, is it a good idea for you to buy an old bike just like this? Let's get on the road and talk about it. Why should you buy an old bike? What's the criteria for an old bike, right? Well, the criteria for an old bike wasn't established by me. I know nothing, so I'm not going to establish what is an old bike. That's subjective, right? Well, to the insurance world, specifically companies that underwrite extended warranties, they cut off at 20 years. If your bike is over 20 years, you cannot purchase an extended warranty for the bike. So that's the first reason why we're calling it 20 years. The next is that if you go into a Harley Davidson dealership, there's something printed somewhere that they will hand you or verbally tell you, if the bike's over 20 years old, we don't need to work on it. It's under the grace of our good spirit that we'll work on it. And that's mainly because the mechanics, they haven't been around for 20 years, many of them, and the parts aren't available anymore from Screaming Eagle or, their normal sources, which primarily are Harley Davidson. So that's why we come up with 20 years. This bike that I'm on right now, it's 27 years old. Evo engine. They don't make the Evo engine anymore. Yeah, we all know that there's tons of parts out there in the aftermarket to support this engine, just like there is for the twin cam. However, it's more than 20 years old, so you have to go out and seek an independent mechanic to work on it or wrench on it yourself. By the way, we're in Lake Wales, Florida, and I'm looking for Spooky Hill. It's that time of year in, Halloween time. And supposedly there's this hill called Spooky Hill, and your bike or car will do weird stuff when you're on Spooky Hill. So we're going to go investigate that during the course of this video. Well, I found out there's 3 P's on reasons why people buy old bikes. Each one starts with a P. It just worked itself out that way. First P is price. People are buying old bikes because they're cheaper than new bikes, right? This 27-year-old bike that I'm on right now, this Harley Davidson Heritage Special, operating an Evo engine, well, it's cheaper than a brand new bike. And I purposely sought out an Evolution motorcycle, and it just so happens that the price point for it was much, much more affordable. Where is Spook Hill? Should be close. So the first P is price, and that's pretty self-evident, right? A cost of an Evo engine bike or a shovel head bike or a twin cam bike is going to be cheaper than a brand new Milwaukee 8 bike. So for many folks out there, the reason why they're buying an old bike over 20 years old is because it's cheaper. It's in their budget. When I bought this bike, I had a $5,000 budget to purchase the bike. That was my budget. I didn't want to spend anything over $5,000, including taxes. Now, it didn't work out. I had to pay tax and a plate fee and all that kind of stuff. Even though the bike, when I bought it, it wasn't road ready. So I recommend, if you're going to buy a bike for a low cost, whether it's $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, have an extra $1,000 available for making the bike road ready. You're going to have to set aside some money. Very rarely will you find a bike that just turns the key and away you go. You're going to need a carb clean. You're going to need a new stator. You're going to need this. You're going to need that. And that's exactly what happened to me. I needed a whole bunch of stuff. And it cost about $1,200 for me to get this bike road ready. Hey, there's Spook Hill Elementary. I must be really close. Let's see if it's up here. Oh, there it is, folks. Spook Hill. Yeah, I'll just park over here while you're doing your thing, folks. Alright, let's read about the Spook Hill legend. Ages ago, an Indian town on Lake Wales Lake was plagued with raids by a huge gator. The town's great warrior chief and the gator were killed in a final battle that created the huge swampy depression nearby. The chief was buried on its north side. Later, pioneer haulers coming from the old army trail atop the ridge above found their horses laboring here at the foot of the ridge and called it Spook Hill. Is it the gator seeking revenge or the chief protecting his lands? Stop car on white line, place a neutral, and let it roll back. Okay, so I see the line. We'll go up there and look at it closer, but I'm thinking if you're on any type of hill and you place your vehicle on the white line, it's going to go backwards. But I got a Spook Hill Legend Buster. I can't get my motorcycle into neutral, so if it can flip it into neutral, that'd be great. So we talked about price. Let's talk about performance. So sometimes people are buying old bikes because they like the performance. The reason why I was looking for an Evolution type bike and I didn't land on a twin cam or a shovel head was because I was watching Shea Tree Surgeon, and he just bought for $1,200 from his friend an FXR, and he was always commenting how great that sound of that Evolution engine was, and this is before I was even a rider. Plus, having grown up and becoming a kid of age when these motorcycles were on the road, hearing them in TV shows like Renegade and of course the Terminator 2, I too identified Evolution engine with Harley Davidson, just, you know, my age group. When I went out and bought my first bike, which was a Sportster, it has the Evolution engine in it. That's one of the reasons why I bought the Sportster. So when I had a $5,000 budget to buy this motorcycle, which happened to be, you know, 7 months into my ownership of my Sportster, everyone says, hey, you know, oh, you buy a Sportster, you'll want to upgrade in 6 months. Well, it's true. Doesn't mean that you have to or must upgrade from your Sportster, but yeah, you're going to start to get the itch to go to the next thing. But I'll tell you, 2.5 years in, I'm still learning on my Sportster, especially how to go at speed in the corners, and so I'm still getting value out of that being my first bike. So I went out for the performance-wise, and I said, I want an Evolution engine. I want that sound. And so for $5,000, there was Evolution engine available out there in this particular bike. Let's go check out this Spook Hill myth and see if this bike rolls down by itself. See if I can get a picture for the old Instagrams. Hopefully nobody will show up with their car. I can get this fire one off real quick. Alright. Yeah, if you're not following me on Instagram, I post photos and stuff on my stories and short reel videos. You should go check it out at Kenny Quest Show on Instagram and Facebook. Perfect. Ooh, she looks so pretty. Yeah. Gotta give her a bath though. Maybe I'll do that before the camp out. Alright, the good thing about this bike is that I can get into neutral from a cold start. But try getting into neutral while it's in gear. Different story. Alright, so you're supposed to stick it on the white line, stick the tire on the white line, and then it's just going to roll back naturally after you stick it in neutral. See if I can get it in neutral. No, let me cheat. I'm going to cheat. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to let off the brake. And we're going backwards. Of course we are, because it's a hill, for Pete's sake. Alright guys, it's a free tourist attraction and brings a commerce to the city of Lake Wales. Ooh, look at this little hill. Whoa. Florida doesn't have a lot of hills, so that was interesting. I was on a hill at a stop. So now I understand what you people up north and out in San Francisco, what it means to take off from a stop, or that hill assist feature that some brands have on their new bikes. I could see where that would come in handy, but you can muscle your way through it. No problem. And that brings us to the third P, which is pride. Pride of ownership. I want that Harley Davidson. I want that nostalgic feeling some of y'all are saying out there. And I just can't get that on a Milwaukee 8. It just doesn't sound the same. That counterbalancing business. I want my engine rigid mounted to my frame so I can feel every tingle and vibe. Shovel heads do that. Pan heads do that. Evolution engines do that. So you want that pride of ownership, of owning something that's unique. Older bikes give you that. They give you that value. Now, what are some of the drawbacks of owning an old bike? Well, as I alluded, there's price and there's cost. So for me, I said, yeah, I know that I'm going to have to fix it up, whether just personalize it and just have some, general maintenance done on it. So I put aside $1,000. So $5,000 for the bike, $1,000 for the fix up, and I was hoping and praying that for $6,000, I'll be riding on trips on my 27-year-old bike. Didn't work out that way. I ended up spending $7,500 because during the shakeout period, after we got the general maintenance stuff out of the way, change out the brake pads, change out the fluids, put on some bars that I feel more comfortable with, a windshield, finding some bags on eBay. That was all in that first $1,000. But then when I hit the road, the bike left me stranded hundreds of miles away from home. And those required parts. A new ignition, a new stator, a new switch housing. So I had to throw in some more money. Though I was happy the bike came with pretty much brand new tires. But that dealer did not check out the bike, and I didn't even test ride it because I was too intimidated to test ride it there. So I just brought it home. It wouldn't have ridden anyways. The rear rotor was all dished. It would have made a funky noise going down the road. It made a funky noise just rolling off of German Dave's truck when he was delivering it to Wanderer Customs. So you're going to have reserve money. Ooh, look at this. Take a left turn and you're in the middle of God's country. Oh, that's awesome. So an old bike might be for you if you have another P, patience. Gotta have some patience. So for me, buying an old bike, I didn't buy it as my daily. I had a bike that I could ride, my Sportster, and let my mechanic go through this on his timetable, order parts, let them come in. Some of them took 30 days to come in, some came in right away, and then go ahead and put those parts in. I put 32 parts in. I bought 32 parts to put in before I even rode this bike on the street. And some of them were cosmetic. I changed out the bars. It came with some ape hangers, and I was like, that's cool, but I'm not ready for 18-inch apes. I'm very happy with my T-bar setup that I have here. Gives a very motocross feel. And then once I got on the road, the shakeout period, I had to dump another $600 or $700 more into the bike. So all in, it was like, I don't know, $1,800, almost $2,000 on top of what I paid for the bike, which was $5,000 plus tax and the tag. And it wasn't listed for that. It was listed for higher. And I had to, ask for a discount and then negotiate down. You can already see the economy affecting motorcycle sales. Inflation is super high, and Harley Davidson was the first to inflate the bike pricing, right? They kind of kicked off inflation before inflation was cool. And now that it's in vogue, everybody's doing it, from cookie companies to milk people to everything's going up in price. They're just riding it, but not as many people are buying. So what does Harley do? They're throwing up ads, 0% APR, low APR, hoping to entice people to go in to the dealership and buy a brand new motorcycle with this ridiculously low interest rate. Now, what do you think the dealers are doing? Are they going, oh, this is great, thank you, and here's the MSRP price and tax, and here's your 8-year loan at 0% interest? No. They're trying to tack on as much profit on top of that because they don't have as many customers. So you're not buying anything from MSRP. MSRP is manufacturer suggested retail price, and it's a suggestion, and the dealers aren't listening to that suggestion. People are starting to look at buying older bikes. And now that the Milwaukee 8 is in its 7th sales season now, about to go into its 8th, those bikes are becoming more mature. Just be careful when you buy that 2018, 2020, you're going to need an oil cooler. My buddy Jeff, he's got a 2018, and his oil cooler just popped over the summer. And Pedro was able to get him back on the road for an affordable price. But if you went to a dealer, that's a $1,200 repair, FYI. And if you go to an independent mechanic, it'll run anywhere from $600 to $1,000. But buying an old twin cam, buying an old Evolution, all of those models are out there. We know that the 2006 models stink with transmissions with the twin cam, so kind of avoid those. But pretty much the 88 cubic inch, the 96 cubic inch, and the 103 cubic inch are fantastic twin cams, reliable bikes, but they're not 20 years old. So your early twin cam 88s are very, very reliable, starting at 99, moving through 2005. And your Evolutions, well, they're the engine that saved Harley Davidson, right? They made no modifications to this engine from when it was released until the end of the line in 1999. It was one engine, one displacement. When you look at twin cam, they had 3 displacements in a very similar period of time. And the Milwaukee 8, you had the 107, the 114. Now you got these, the 121. So very similar progression with the Milwaukee 8 and the twin cam. Evolution, just one iteration. Now, doesn't mean that if you buy an Evolution, you're stuck with the 83 cubic inch that came with its stock, because there are big bore kits. You can take it up to, I think, 95 with big bore kit, and then you can replace the engine. Oh, look at this road. This is beautiful. I have no idea where I'm at. Somewhere in the middle of Florida, and I'm just happening upon these twisties. You can't, nobody can argue with me and say Evolution engine doesn't sound the best. I got a Woods cam in here and it just rips. But it's still stock 83. I'm not, they don't have a big bore kit. But you can buy a big bore kit. You can get a 110, 124 big bore Evos. Josh, a tree surgeon, he's putting in some humongous gargantuan Evo engine from a defunct engine company. So it's possible if you want high performance and nostalgic performance at the same time, it's possible with the Evo engine. Same thing for the twin cam. Oh, this is just gorgeous back in here. Ooh, got some dirt. Gotta be careful through the dirt. Good thing I wasn't on a sport bike coming through here at 80 miles per hour. Yeah, if I crashed here, man, I'd be like stuck all day, all night. I don't see anybody. But beautiful. This is gorgeous. So go out and get that old bike. Join a Facebook group, online forum for the type of bike that you're interested in buying. Research that up front. If you're in the Orlando area, I definitely can have a mechanic to hook you up that knows his shovel heads, knows his Evos, knows his twin cams, and that's Wanderer Customs. Oh, this is fantastic. Woo! Hell yeah. More twisty. Woo! So that brings me to my final thoughts on this week's vlog video. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I don't do a lot of vlogs, but this is definitely a vlog style video. I appreciate if you've been watching my shorts and also my first ride videos and my breaking news videos that I have. I don't do a regular vlog to keep in touch with you guys enough, like some of the other guys out there and gals. Mainly it's probably because I think I'm not that interesting. But I'm just a regular guy. I'm not a rich guy. I'm not, I'm just a working man. I work for somebody and doing, life struggles. I got a daughter. Most of my income goes towards her. Whatever else I left, I got to feed myself, keep a roof over my head, and whatever I can throw into motorcycles. I got lucky. I was saving up for a motorcycle for a very long time, 9 years. And through a sale of a home, I had a little bit of money I could add to it. Through a passing of a relative, I got a little bit more money I could throw into it. And then I was able to buy my Sportster and this bike using those funds. But those funds are gone, so now everything is on my shoulders to maintain those bikes and whatever future bike I might add to the stable. I love both these bikes and don't plan on getting rid of them or trading them in. Why would I? So I'd love to meet you guys in person, and there's an opportunity for that to happen. If you are coming down to the Forgotten Angels campout, I will be there. And I have new stickers, new Kenny Quest stickers. The last stickers I had, I've had them for a couple of years. They're round. These are a different shape. And I'll have those to pass out. And if you're at the campouts, stop and say hi. It says, hey Kenny, what's up? So thanks for coming along with me on this one. If you like this vlog style video, then you're gonna love the next video. So click on the box right here, it'll take you right to it, and I will see you there. Take care. Where's Kenny going? Well, I'm going to the Weirdo Campout. It's all in support of the Forgotten Angels. Hey Corey, Kenny Quest.
Right on.
Nice to meet you.
Dude, such a great weekend, so much fun. Yeah.
Jared, it's Kenny Quest. I want to ride Hollywood Run. I want to ride it, man.
What's going on, buddy?
Is it good for new riders?
Yeah, let's all go for a ride.
Oh shit.
Thick Lizzie on the Kenny Quest Show.
No pressure, right?
Chopper shit.
Chopper shit. Chopper shit. There's a hashtag, chopper shit.
Y'all think you're riders? Y'all nothing. This is a rider right here.
What is this weekend? What has it taught me about motorcycle riding and adventures? You just need to get on the bike and go.